Welcome back to the Chad Hasty Show, News Talk KFYO. In studio with me right now, our next guest, another candidate for office, this time for the 99th District Court. And we have in studio with us right now Judge Kara Darnell. Welcome to the show.
Thank you.
And tell folks a little bit about yourself. You're running for the 99th District Court here in Lubbock. Tell folks, one, a little bit about yourself, and then two, why you decided to run.
Okay, my name is Kara Darnell. I grew up in Plainview, just 47 miles north. I went to Texas Tech undergrad, went to Texas Tech Law School. I was a prosecutor in Midland for a couple years after law school. I then went to Amarillo and did some insurance defense work, civil litigation up there for about 5 years. Then I got married and moved back to Lubbock. I started doing some more civil litigation here in Lubbock with Ray Farguson and his firm, Robert St. Clair, that good group of attorneys over there. Enjoyed that. I also did some family law in addition to my civil litigation there. And then I took the bench about 6.5 years ago, hearing CPS cases, child welfare, those sorts of cases, and I do that every day, and I've done that for about 6.5 years now. The reason that I'm running for this spot is some folks in the legal community, some folks in the courthouse came to me and said, Kara, you're doing a really good job in your court. We hear wonderful things about how you run your court. We hear that you're a great judge. We think it's time for you to come up and do what you're doing down here in the district courts. And people actually said that to me when the 140th court opened up. So it was very flattering to hear that. I thought about it for a little bit and realized that I didn't think that I had enough criminal experience in my background to run for the 140th. I didn't feel qualified for that position. Very serious criminal cases heard in that court, and I just didn't feel like I had what it took in terms of experience to hear those cases. So I told that group of people, I just said, this is not for me, but if one of the civil courts ever opens up, I will certainly think about it. And then about a month later, Judge Souter made his announcement, and I knew I was in.
Tell folks what type of cases usually go towards the 99th District Court. This is something you and I were talking about before the show.
Sure.
One of the toughest, I guess, obstacles for those of you running for judicial offices is making people care about why this is an important race. And these are important races that people need to be looking at.
Sure. The 99th District Court hears civil cases and criminal cases. So just your basic civil cases, car wrecks, contract disputes, you name it, those sort of civil litigation issues that you find. And then on the other side, you have your family law cases, your divorces, your child custody battles, your splitting up property, your determining child support, child custody, all of those things, visitation, all of those issues come into this court. And it's important for folks who may ever find themselves in that situation. You just never think about how important it is to find a good person for these spots until you find yourself in front of that bench, and then you realize just how important it is, the kind of person the people put on that bench.
What would you say your judicial philosophy is?
My judicial philosophy is to follow the law. I don't make law. That's the legislator's job. My job is to read the statute that applies to the case, listen to the evidence, and apply that statute the way it's written to the facts in front of me. And that's the way I try to handle every case in my court now. That's what I'm going to do in the future. I have a very good record in the appellate courts. I've never been overturned, and I think that's because I try to pay very close attention to what the statutes and what the cases are telling me I need to do in certain factual situations, and I stick to it. I don't let any sort of personal bias or prejudice or anything come into play. I just do what the law tells me to do. And I think that that's worked out well for me so far, and I'm going to keep doing that.
Tell folks where they can find out more about you and your campaign.
Sure. My website is judgekaradarnell.com. I hope that you have seen some of my signs around town. You can also call me. My phone number is listed on there. I'm happy to talk to you. I'm happy to have a cup of coffee with you. I'm happy to meet with you anytime that you can. I will make time. I love meeting people. I was telling you earlier that knocking on doors has been my favorite part of this campaign. I love meeting people and talking to people and answering questions and doing whatever I can to get your vote.
All right. That's Judge Kara Darnell, Kara Darnell.com, and where they can find out more about you. All
yes,
right.
sir.
Thanks for stopping by.
I appreciate it.